somebody has just sprained their ankle, okay? You're pulling them to the sideline, you're working on them, or they're coming to you in the clinic with a fresh ankle sprain. You're going to teach them to compress it while it's in that early healing phase. And so what we're going to teach them is how to use Coban. Okay, so Coban is a nice supportive compression wrap. It sticks to itself. But what we're going to also use is our horseshoes. Now, depending on the severity of the swelling, if it's medial and lateral, you're going to use horseshoes medial and laterally. If really it's localized just to one side, you would only necessarily need one. It's not wrong to use two just to be safe to help push the fluid, because essentially what a horseshoe is going to do, and we've pre-made these, is it's going to hug the malleolus and it's going to put pressure where you think typically the swelling sits, right where the malleoli are is where it blows up the most. And so it's going to put pressure, so it's going to help not let the swelling pool there. Now, if it's a lateral ankle sprain, we would just be hugging the lateral malleoli. And now, because of that pressure, no fluid can really sit and get pooled there. So we're sort of pushing it up. And then what we're going to do is just wrap the Coban to create that compression so it facilitates that lymph flow and that swelling is sort of not pooling in the ankle. Now, this was made out of felt, and it has an adhesive backing you could take off, but I don't like to take it off because I'm going to send them home, do my manual work, like right in the clinic or whatever I'm doing. I'm going to put this on and I'm going to send them home. And I'm going to tell them, you need to get home, you're going to ice this again. Dunk it in the submersion. We're going to do it like a dunk ice bath. The whole foot and ankle, everything goes in the bucket with ice and water. And when you come out, you're going to do this again. So we don't want this sticking to you because we're just going to put it right back on. We're going to do that every day, a couple times a day, until the swelling is really down, where we can mobilize the joint better and start the rehab process. So we don't want to stick it, okay? So, that being said, do we need spray on this? Do we need to use spray with this? No. Because they're not going into play, they're going home, and they're just taking this right off, right? So we don't use spray now in the acute setting, okay? So what I'm gonna have my patient do is I'm gonna have him help me. So if you'll grab those little guys and keep them in place for me while I do this. Now I'm gonna start, now in an ankle sprain, sometimes you can even see swelling like into the toes, into the forefoot, right? So you have to grab wherever the swelling is. So if, I might even be here, okay? So I'm gonna come up and around. I'm gonna be rolling this off. Again, there's tension, but I'm not doing this, okay? We want there to be like just an easy roll. And now I think I got it. And I'm just going 50%, 50%, 50. And you're gonna go up, you know, where they need it. I'm just gonna probably finish the roll here. And then this should stick to itself pretty nicely, okay? The thing about Coban, on a fresh roll, depending on how big this is and how high up you need to go, especially if they strain the peroneal too, you might need to go up pretty high. If you don't use that full roll, which is totally fine, you have to cut the Coban. Coban does not rip. So this is where you would need scissors. Everything else in the ankle sprain, taping, you never need a scissor. Okay, you would need a scissor. Okay, so very simply, we just compressed for support. This is for swelling maintenance and control. Okay, then they get home. You send them home with another 1 or 2 Cobans. Give them time to go pick some up at the store if they need it. Or if you've got a 4-inch, we often carry 4-inch ace wraps. You could use an ace wrap. And then an ace wrap's cheaper because you get to reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. Do you know what I'm saying? So reusing saves money and sometimes is easier. Okay? So you would teach them how to do it with an ace wrap. Good? Then the instructions are get home. If it's not too late, you're gonna do this all again. You're gonna dunk for 10 minutes, get out, rewrap, take your anti-inflammatories, and go to bed. Okay, and then we'll start with like our early ankle sprain stuff, right? Drawing the circles, alphabets, light calf stretch if they can even tolerate it. It just depends on where they are in that early phase. Depending on the severity, it might be nothing until we get some pain control. Okay?